You can't peek, okay? Don't peek.
Don't peek. What is this?
Turbo.
Turbo, my man. Look at that. Woo! Pull it. Whoa.
Wait, let's take this off.
Turbo.
Can I try?
Yeah.
Poo
Poo-poo.
You crazy mother.
What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson, and welcome back to another episode of BurnDown. So, we are still on the Winnebago project. Beauty's hiding right over there. It's going to be a twin turbo LS monster, but we just landed the motor last weekend. No trickery, no voodoo, no nothing. How freaking rad is that? And this weekend, we have lots of items back here to show you guys. So what I'm going to do, we're going to work on the hot side and hopefully get the turbo location picked and mounted. I'd like to get as far as I possibly can, but before I get rolling and just start trying to stab things in, I will open everything up real quick and we'll lay it out and I'll show you guys what I've got, what's going in it, and it's pretty much just all eBay junk is where I shop because that's pretty much the budget. So I'll show you guys that, and then if you missed the video, I'm going to show you my intake and throttle body from War Performance. So if you need throttle body or you need LS swap components, please go check those guys out. I have two of their throttle bodies and they are phenomenal. Funny part too, and I actually told the guys, I got the one from Apple, and then I was literally gonna buy one for the Winnebago because I'm like, this thing rules. These guys are awesome, I'll just buy one. And they reached out to me and beat me to it, so I didn't have to buy one. They're on board now as a sponsor, so please go check them out if you get a chance. So let me open up all this junk and then we'll go over what's going in the Winnebago. Here is a look at all the goodies that are going in the Winnebago. And I actually started filming this and naming pieces off, and then I had a panic moment because I kind of screwed stuff up. So we've got two, these are little guys, like you see my hand. It's not a very big turbo, but we got two of them. They're T3 flanged, so they're kind of small. I want to say it's like a 6271 or something like that.
It's fiction. We made up this one.
70 AR. There is the number. It's a GT 3582. Journal bearing, nothing special, cheap eBay. Little twin yin yang boys here.
That was legitness.
They have a weird exhaust flange, so you can just buy this part, and then I found these where it goes from this obviously to a V-band adapter, so that way I don't have to buy this piece, weld things in and play with it. We'll just stick this on and then I can go straight to V-band for the outward exhaust. And then this is where I messed up. So this is an elbow. This is where the exhaust comes in. This will support the turbo, and it's T3 T4, so it fits on these inside holes here. The problem I had though is it's 3-inch, and I bought a bunch of 2.5-inch V-bands because these are the LS3, I believe, manifolds that I'm going to stick V-bands on, and that's how the exhaust is going to get routed to the turbos. And then from there it was supposed to plumb into this, into the turbo, and we were going to party. Well, this is supposed to be 2.5. They sell these at 2.5 and 3. This would be more for like coming off the end of a header collector, like the cheap headers you can get. And I had the 2.5 in the basket. They weren't from California, and I wanted to get everything for this weekend. So when I changed to the other ones, I found them, got excited, ordered them, hit the button, and realized today that these are 3-inch. So I have my friend Ried is going to save the day. Hopefully I talked to him. He's going to come out later, and he's going to bring me some 3-inch V-bands. So these are all 2.5, which will get me from here to this point, and then we'll have to go from a 2.5-inch pipe up to a 3 V-band that, and then we're good. And then he's also going to grab me some 3s for this because I didn't account for these because I figured we'd do that later. But since he's picking up V-bands, we'll have the 3-inch for this. So it'll be 3-inch exhaust coming out of little yin yang twins over here. So that is it. That is the exhaust for stuff in there. We'll start with these. figure out if we're gonna route it back or forward or down or up or wherever we're going. So that is it. That is a look at all of the hot side components, minus I have a bunch of miscellaneous bends we'll go pull out of the truck that was graciously donated from KP Fab, and 2 and I went and rummaged through the bins he has at his shop of all his cutoffs, and I grabbed enough stuff that I think will be good as far as bends go. And I know I've got straights and pipes and things in the back. So we're just gonna rummage through all the scrap I have laying around, and it'll be a hodgepodge, but as long as it gets the hot exhaust gases from the motor into the bottom of one of these little guys on each side, that's when the party starts. So let's get over there, start mocking these things up, make some decisions. I got a little makeshift table set up. I took the heat shields off, which I think I'm gonna run because those are pretty slick and fancy. And then these are the cutoff manifolds that I got from a dude on Instagram. So thank you very much, man. I'll look it up and throw your screen name on here. But we need to crawl underneath here and figure out which way we want these to go. Either forward facing or back facing off of these flanges here. And then I think I'm gonna throw some stuff, cardboard or something, so I can scoot in and out down there and start partying. So yeah, let me test fit these and see. And then the other thing too, this is where the radiator is supposed to live. So maybe I'll put like a string line at some point here so we kind of know where the wall is gonna be. But this could change because this, I still have room, so won't worry about that too much. Let's put these in, face them forward and see, because I'd like them to come out this way if I can, and see where that puts me to, essentially I think we're gonna mount the boys over here. So let's get rolling. All right, well, problem numero uno. All right, well, here is my first problem. So these things get into this guy. So it looks like we're gonna have to clearance this, which is awesome because I got a motor in the way. And then same on this side. They need to get clearance in order to clear that. So let me figure that out and I'll bring it back. So what we are gonna do, instead of me trying to lug that motor and transmission and everything out of there, to start cutting on those dudes down there. My buddy Ried is on his way because I need some V-bands, some 3-inch V-bands, and he lives right by the spot where I buy that stuff. So he's just gonna pick them up and then cruise out this way. So I told him to bring his little plasma cutter. I don't have one. And that will just, the little head will get in there. We can make quick work of it and then keep rolling. So by the time I sit here and struggle, he can just show up and we can plasma cut it and keep rolling. So I'll kind of get some measurements. I think I'm gonna tape off the intake manifolds and stuff because that's actually, or not the intake ports. I'll get rid of that manifold because I don't want to get everything all full of plasma gunk and junk. And then I'll bring you guys back when we're actually making progress. But yeah, dead in the water for a minute, that sucks. So while I'm waiting on Ried to come save me from my mistakes, I dug out a bunch of used hardware to put these on. These are the adapters to make the exhaust side a V-band. So, and then I also used the little metal gaskets that they provide. And then I found hardware for these. These could be a little bit longer, but it'll be fine for mock-up. So tighten these guys down. We'll take them over, set them outside as well, and then figure out what else I can do. Maybe mark all that stuff off so that when Ried gets here, I can just fire the little plasma up and get to rolling. So what we're gonna do while we're waiting is these need V-bands. So Ried's on his way, but what I can do in the meantime is glue a couple of these to the bottoms of these guys. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean these up, work on that, and then at least that is one more thing off the list that needs to get done regardless. So everybody that's freaking out right now and you're gonna tell me I need missile rod and you can't MIG weld these and all that stuff. It's not my first rodeo. I've done this before. It'll be fine. But if you do notice, I did put the V-band back on. That is to keep it square. And then also, you don't want to put any pressure on that when you're welding it because it'll warp it. Then you're not going to get a good seal and bad things will happen. So I'm going to let this actually cool off with the V-band in place. And then I'll move it around so I can finish welding the areas I didn't get because the fitment isn't that great, but we'll come back on the inside too and kind of kind of zip it in there as well. But we'll move on and do the other one while this one cools off, and then we'll flip-flop, do it again. I got these hot boys looking fantastic. Got a couple little boogers and stuff I'd like to clean up and get out of there. I don't want anything to shake its way loose and then enter the turbo. That's not really what we're trying to do. But real quick again, for you pro welders and you bench racers out there, I don't need to bet you. I don't really need to hear it. I know this will work because I've already done it. And a dude actually still owes me 10 bucks. So you watch this, you owe me my 10 bucks from last time, bro, from betting because you didn't think it would work. So anyway, this is done and those dudes are kind of hanging out. So let me take some stuff outside and kind of see how we go. All right, so the turbos are kind of assembled. The exhaust manifolds have the V-bands welded in place. So I'm gonna start eyeballing this thing. Gotta let those cool off a little bit because they're gonna be really hot to handle. And then I'll get the marker out and we'll see what we gotta take out on the motor mounts. And then I think if we have to scoop a bunch out, I've got some plate or some sheet steel in there that's kind of thin or whatever, but we could at least use it to box the mount in if I feel like structurally it needs it. But those things are pretty beefy. I doubt it, but we got to see how far down we got to dig. And then I'd like to clearance it with an air gap because it's a polyurethane bushing. I don't want it to get so hot it melts my motor mount. That would be bad. So hopefully Superhero Ried will save the day. So let's wait for Ried. Wait for Ried. Wait for Ried. Another thing while we're kind of waiting, I want to show you guys is this side is just really not conducive to housing a turbo. There's room over on that side. I guess there's room way over here. Well, so there's room on this side where the headlight is way out here. We've got room, but I've got the steering box wiring, the steering arm, everything is on this side, pedals, all that stuff, because this is the driver's side. But if you look over here, we have nothing. We have all the room for activities. So since we can't really see the yin yang twins, I think we are just gonna house both of them on this one side. So I think that is gonna be the plan. If I house them here, then I could hopefully merge the outlet or the outlets into one and then just come back to the intake and then just do everything. Like you can see, this is all open over here. So I think it's gonna be a much easier and better fit, better bet, everything just to be all on one side. Which if this is like an engine bay, it'd be weird because you'd open it and you'd be like, why'd you put everything on one side? But because of all of this, because I don't want to deal with it, I think we'll go over here. And the other thing too, oil drains, I'd like to have the turbos up front because if I ran them toward the back, we could kind of bury them back there, but you'll get more crap off the tires and then draining the engine oil. I guess you could go up and then you come back that way, but gravity when you're moving forward is going to want to go this way. So if you have it in the hose, it'll be more conducive to running down and into the pan versus if you're back there and the motor's forward. That doesn't make as much sense to me. So that's what I'm thinking, but we'll get rolling. I'm going to eyeball this. I will even look back there just in case, so we could do like one on either side because there's room back there under, you know, this seat and that seat. But I'm thinking up front over here. There, just so you guys get an idea how much room is over here. So I could do this on that side. It makes 0 sense. Obviously, if my fat head could fit underneath here, there's plenty of room for activities. We'll just have to keep it off the headlights so we don't burn nothing. But yeah, so this is it. Final decision. I think we'll put them over here in front of the tire and then face them whichever way is conducive. Whatever is the easiest thing. And then I can build standoffs off the frame. And then there's some channel up here or something if I gotta make some sort of structure. So we will do that. I got one kind of ground and it's sitting in there. It needs a little more room, but the hero Ried is here and he brought ridiculously expensive V-bands, but at least I have all the stuff that I need now. So this is all the 3-inch stuff, so we can keep on rolling with that. So then he brought the little plasma cutter that could. So we're gonna make quick work of that other side, and then hopefully I can get to mocking things up. A little while ago, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I bought electronic speed parts. I bought an ARC panel, and that 7-inch dash. Well, I'm not wiring my car, and Ried is wiring his car, so we're gonna send him home with the ARC panel that I bought because I won't need one for a while. So this kind of goes to show it's not to go, oh, look what I'm doing. You got to help the people that are helping you out, and I don't need that thing. It's collecting dust, and just like people have given me all kinds of rad stuff and you guys have been cool, we got to keep the ball rolling. We got to pay it forward and take care of the people that help you out. So I hope that works well in his car. I'll make sure he takes some pictures so you guys can see. I'm really excited. I really want to put one in my car, but I've got a whole Winnebago to worry about, so we're gonna get there one of these days. But good luck. I hope that thing treats him well. We got to get back to Winnebago stuff. So we got these guys, and then I clearanced it so you can see under there, plenty of room for party, and then plenty of room for partying. So this is the manifold setup that we're gonna run. Now I just have to figure out how to get the exhaust over to this side. So before we even get that far, mainly it's turbo placement. So Ried and I are gonna brainstorm, figure out what we like, what we come up with, and we'll bring you guys back and let you know what we're gonna do. We were putting the radiator in to kind of look at it, but I think just so we're not in trouble, because we're trying to work on placement for turbos, we're gonna put the accessory and stuff and just bolt them on real quick so we have a distance for the radiator, so that way we can kind of put that tentatively where it goes, just in case we get carried away and then you go to put a radiator in and you don't get a radiator. So we're gonna bolt the accessories on and then we'll try it out.
Permanent, actually. That's how it's gonna be.
All right, now we got the
2 zip ties. Yeah, let's
radiator's mounted.
Radiator's mounted. Yeah, good. There are a couple sacks on there.
All right, radiator is permanently mounted. I think we're gonna be good for the road trip. Now we're gonna check some clearances, but we just zip tied it in place, so neither one of us have to strain to hold that. That thing weighs. What do you think that thing weighs, dude? 40 pounds?
Oh, gotta be.
50 pounds?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a man radiator right there. So, all right, we're gonna keep looking at stuff, and then we'll bring you back when we make decisions, hopefully pretty soon. What are you doing?
I'm loading pepper.
Is that your chicken? All right, that's Pepper. All right, you be nice, Pepper. Go put it in the backyard. Thanks for sharing, buddy. So we've actually made an executive decision. Very excited about the placement, but I'm not going to explain it. I just want to bring you guys back, so it'll probably be a little while. Hopefully we can get it kind of happening intact in place, and then we can all stand back and look at the majesty. So we have a great idea. Hopefully it works out, but we'll double check stuff and bring you guys back. So it'll probably be dark by then, and we'll be looking at it in the dark. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you waste money building a project. You buy something for one purpose, and then you cut it up because you don't really need it. And yeah. All right, we went through several different decisions. I asked my son, we asked my wife, back and forth, but I think this is how they're gonna live. We're gonna double check everything, but I want to show you guys because it's kind of getting dark, and I don't want to do the reveal when you can't really see what's going on. So you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Winnebago! Bam! So we're gonna run 2 turbos off to the side, and then that way all the exhaust and everything goes back underneath this side. Like we talked about earlier, it's kind of a cluster F on that side, and I was gonna run maybe one like this and then this one over here, but I literally have the pedals, like the brake pedal comes all the way down, gas pedal, steering block, and even though I could manage to put one here, it would just get ugly. So we're gonna do it this way, possibly run a vertical intercooler here, and then yeah, just create all kinds of heat and stuff for the radiator. That way all you guys don't have to ask me if it actually has turbos, and you can see what they actually look like. So ooh, look at that. Here, let's see it in all its glory. Bam. That is so cool. And that all tucks in behind the grill, so the grill will be right here. But I'm gonna continue working. Obviously this is mock-up. You can't really function that way, but I'm gonna make sure everything's clear and that this will work. So that should be the placement. I think that's gonna be kind of it for where we're at today. So you guys like this? You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, stick around, because it's starting to get interesting. Interesting. Can't even talk right now. All right, I'm out.